Things I wish I knew about Adobe Premiere Pro Volume 2. We'll kick things off by adding motion blur to basic animations in Premiere Pro. If you keyframe a position movement using the normal motion controls in the Effects Controls window, you'll get the motion part, but not the blur part. If we use the transform effect instead and keyframe a position movement under the transform effect, we still get no motion blur. However, as soon as we put in a shutter angle of say 180 degrees here, then presto, we have motion blur. For tip number 2, we have the Edit Original button. If we have an animation that was rendered using Adobe After Effects, we can right-click the rendered video from our Premiere Pro timeline and select, you guessed it, Edit Original. This will open the source After Effects project for you, assuming that you haven't moved the After Effects project file after completing the render. This is super useful if you need to make last-minute tweaks to your animations or composites. For number 3, let's talk about copying and pasting. If you want to copy all of your effects from one clip to another, or multiple clips, start by selecting the clip with your effects from the timeline. We'll copy this clip into the system clipboard with Command-C, then right-click the clip we want to move our effects to. From here, hit Paste Attributes. This will open a window where you can specifically choose which effects you want to copy over. If you want to instead remove specific effects from a clip, or multiple clips, right-clicking and selecting Remove Attributes will open a similar menu for taking off effects instead. Tip number 4, using and adjusting default transitions. You can apply a default transition to a cut by right-clicking the cut point and selecting Apply Default Transitions. Premiere Pro's original default is cross dissolve for video and constant power for audio. If you want to change these defaults, start by searching for the new transition in the effects panel. Then right-click the transition and choose Set Selected as Default Transition. We can customize the default duration of these transitions by going to Edit, Preferences, Timeline, then adjusting the duration at the top of the window. Lastly, for tip number 5, we'll switch our attention to Media Encoder. You probably already know that you can queue up multiple renders to run one after the other. But did you know that you can have multiple renders running simultaneously? In Media Encoder, click the name of the source clip or sequence you'd like to render. Then, hit this small plus icon at the top. If you hover over the icon, it'll show Add Output as the name. After hitting the Add Output button, you'll have the option to independently control the render settings on as many outputs as you want. Once you hit the render button, these renders will run concurrently rather than back to back. This is awesome if you have files that need to go to different platforms that may have different delivery requirements, such as having a file specifically for YouTube and another for Instagram. And that's it. That's all I got for today. Like this video if you learned something, consider subscribing for more video editing tips and tricks just like this one every Monday at 3 p.m. Eastern, and maybe share this video around. It really helps a lot. Thanks for watching, and bye!